Our next section is Game Report section. In this section, user can see a game-by-game analysis of a selected player as well as of the team in general. For example, in the case of Fuerza Regia, user may select, let's see, Joseph Avila. So the user can see the data set of the selected player, game by game. And first, we display the box score, the traditional box score. This is the traditional box score that you can find on most websites that offer basketball scores, minutes, points, field goals made, all those traditional metrics. But what if we want to explore more? Because many times traditional box scores don't show exactly how a player affects the game. So that is why we created all the performance metrics that we use on this platform. So for example, we can see performance metrics for Joseph Avila, such as approximate value, impact, game score, usage rate, individual floor percentage, and versatility index. We also see a performance correlation matrix for this player. So here the user can see how one metric relates to another. In this case, for example, we can see that the total minutes played has a strong correlation with the player's versatility index as well as approximate value. Or we can see that, for example, the metric impact has a weak correlation with, for example, usage rate. We also see offensive metrics for the selected player. So, besides the traditional box score, the performance metrics, we have offensive and defensive metrics for each player. And user can see each game of the season. For example, offensive metrics, user can see points per shot attempt, assist percentage, effective field goal percentage, true shooting percentage, rebound percentage, offensive rebound percentage, turnover percentage, offensive rating, points produced, and pair points, assists, and rebounds, game by game analysis. We also see a correlation matrix for offensive metrics, where user can see strong and weak correlations. So, for example, there's a strong correlation between, for this player, between points and minutes played, which means if we want this player to score more points, then we have to increase the player's minutes. It's very easy to understand, and it gives us a good idea on how can a player improve performance. And we also see defensive metrics, again, game by game analysis of the selected player. You can see the date of the game, the opponent, and in the case of defensive metrics, we have, for example, defensive rebounds, steals, blocks, rebound percentage, defensive rebound percentage, block percentage, steal percentage, defensive stops, stop percentage, and defensive rating, also showing a correlation matrix for the player's defensive metrics. We also show, for the selected player, a game-by-game analysis of touches and possessions. So the user can see that on August 20th, when Fuerza Regia played Panteras, the selected player touched the ball 14 times, and out of those 14 times, 41% the player passed the ball, 35% the player shot the ball, 22% the player was fouled, and the player didn't commit any turnovers. We also see scoring possessions on that game and non-scoring possessions. And again, correlation matrix for this category, touches and possessions. On this same section of game reports, we show trends, offensive performance and defensive performance. So the user can see if there are any special trends. For example, we can see follow the green line that shows points, and this is the order of the games that Fuerza Regia played and the opponents. Same with defensive metrics, measuring the trends of defensive rebounds, steals, and blocks. We also show on this game report section a feature called Game Highlights, where once the user selects a player, the platform shows the highest performance of that player and the player's lowest performance of the season. So we can see that this player had his highest performance was August 19th against Panteras, where he played 19 minutes and he scored 14 points. He had this offensive rating and he produced 18.4 points, while his lowest performance was October 17th against Santos, with no points scored, fewer minutes, lower offensive rating, and almost no points produced. So this can be a big help if you want to see trends and just analyze game by game each player on the player's performance, offense, and defense. And we also have on this same game report section, not only do we have player game reports, but we also have team game reports. So here, we're not analyzing a specific player of the team, but we're analyzing the team in general. In this case, Fuerza Regia, we see traditional box score, game by game. We also see performance metrics of the team, such as defensive efficiency, offensive efficiency, efficiency differential, point differential, the 4 factors, transition offense and defense, true shooting percentage, possessions, and the team's record on each game that was played. We also have a correlation matrix for offense and defense. We also show the trends, offensive and defensive trends, and we also show game highlights, highest performance and lowest performance. For example, here we can see that Fuerza Regia's highest performance was November 13th against Halcones, where they scored 98 points, 36 rebounds, 80 possessions, and their lowest performance was against Soles on September 7th, 67 points, 68 possessions. So here, basically on this game report section, is a way that you can analyze game by game, either your team or your players. Let's continue with our next section, predictions.